Alright, so we have 3 bolts, a Loctite glue, and the mounting bracket. That's it. We need to remove these 2 cables right here. These 2 cables control the butterfly inside this big stock exhaust. Now, according to the instruction paper, we need to replace these 2 bolts with the bolts provided by M4. The mounting bracket will go behind this thing right here. We need to remove this rider seat. Why? Because underneath this rider seat there is a servo. Now the thing is, we need to remove these 2 cables right here. These 2 cables control the butterfly inside this stock exhaust. Now for us to be able to remove these 2 cables, we need to remove first the rider seat and disconnect the 2 cables that are connected to the servo. Now for us to be able to remove the rider seat, we need to take off, or we need to remove the side panels. Now I'm telling you, man, removing the side panels is really freaking annoying and a pain in the neck. The right side panel is now completely removed, but we still have one more. See this thing right here? The left side panel needs to be removed. And I'm telling you, man, removing and putting back these side panels is a bit more harder than putting the slip-on exhaust. It's a pain in the neck, really, the way they designed putting these side panels. Really a pain in the neck. You see it? In there, there's the bolt. So now we have an access to it. Yabba yabba. You see this thing right here? So this is the servo. Now we need to remove these 2 cables right here. Alright? Alright, yabba yabba. As you can see, the 2 cables that control the butterfly are now disconnected from the servo. Alright. As you can see, there are no more butterfly cables. The cables are now disconnected. Alright. So now, we can remove this ugly freaking exhaust. So 1 bolt here, then what else? And also we are going to remove that freaking ugly big box, the freaking exhaust box. Let's remove this heat shield or this heat guard first. Alright, so 1 bolt up there and then two bolts below. 2 bolts underneath, as you can see. Alright. Heat guard is removed. Bam! Look at that! Look at that ugly exhaust box. Yeah, there you go. So we need to remove this ugly thing right here. Alright? But first, yeah, before we can remove this thing, let's remove the stock exhaust first. Let's remove the can first, alright, before the exhaust box. Right, now the bracket that supports the canister is now loose, as you can see. So now we can take off this bolt right here. Alright, the bolt is now loose. Now I never had a chance to show it with you guys because I need to use both of my hands. So I had no choice but to let go of the camcorder. But at least you have an idea. Alright, so one more bolt right here, and this freaking ugly fat fire extinguisher will be completely removed from the bike. Alright. Woohoo! Yabba yabba! The ugly freaking fat fire extinguisher is now completely removed from the bike. Alright. So now the next thing that we need to do is to remove this ugly stock box exhaust, or this catalytic converter, whatever this thing is. Well, I believe that that's the catalytic converter, right? Yeah. Another thing, I think I need to remove the passenger's foot peg, because you see, it looks so odd really if I will not take this off, because the M4 exhaust will be connected from this pipe, and then it will go just up to here maybe, because it's a GP style exhaust, and it's short. Now this thing here is ugly, so I think I would have to remove the passenger's foot peg. But the thing is, it will be another pain in the neck because the bolt is underneath the side panel. Holy frick. So it means that I need to remove this whole thing for me to reach the bolt right there. And I'm telling you, man, removing the side panels is harder than putting the slip-on exhaust. A pain in the neck indeed. Crap. The lower fairing is on the way. You see, the bolt is underneath right there. Now I need to remove this lower fairing so I can reach the bolt. Jesus Christ. So I found out that I just cannot simply remove this lower part right here, because there are screws inside. Now for me to be able to reach those screws, I need to remove the whole damn thing. And I just simply don't want to do that. I am so lazy to do that. I will just bukaka this fairing right here. You see? I will just stretch it. I will just stretch it carefully for me to reach the bolts that are connected to the exhaust box. You see? Alright, I will just stretch the fairing like this. Alright? I went to Sunny's shop because I need this. Because the thing is, these two bolts right here are really hard to take off. I need this kind of tools for me to be able to remove those two bolts. Because the tools that I have, the tools that I have are made in China tools. I mean, I bought this whole set for 15 bucks at Walmart. So sometimes those China made tools are no good at all. Okay, one more bolt. Almost there, baby. Almost there, baby. Yeah, yeah. Woohoo! Damn it. So we just cannot simply pull out this stock exhaust box because the rear tire is on the way. So we have no choice but to move out or to remove the rear tire first for us to be able to remove or to pull out this freaking ugly exhaust box. Alright, so first we need to remove this pin lock right here. Okay, you see this thing right here? We need to take this off. Alright. Alright, so now the pin is removed. We can now loosen up this bolt. Alright. This is the problem, mates. Because this is really freaking hard to unlock. Or it's really damn hard to loosen up. Okay, so I went back to Sunny's shop and he did lend me these tools. Alright, so these tools will do the job for me. Alright. Alright, now the rear tire is taken off. We can now pull out the exhaust box. It took more work than I expected. What a pain in the neck. Finally! Finally! Alright, so now we can install this bracket. This bracket will hold the M4 exhaust. Alright? I'm putting a Loctite glue so we can make sure that the bolts will not get loose. Alright? Alright, so now we are going to install the bracket. Now this bracket goes behind the chassis right here. Okay. Oops. So now that the mounting bracket is installed, we can now put this M4 exhaust. Alright, the M4 exhaust is now freaking installed. Yes. Alright, so I am holding now the bolt, but first I need to put a Loctite glue. Alright, and there's the exhaust as you can see. All I need to do now is to put the bolt into here. Alright. Alright folks, the M4 exhaust is now installed. Yes! Yeba yeba. But the job is still far from over. I need to put back the rear tire and put the side panels, the rider seat, etc, etc. Too much work. Too much work for a guy like me.